All right, so in this lesson, we are going to write the slope-intercept form. Remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b of a line given two solutions. So given two solutions. So before we move on, let's remind ourselves a little bit about slope-intercept form. So y equals mx plus b. Remember that m is the slope, also known as the constant rate of change. This is how the line moves, we'll say. This is how you move. And b is the y-intercept. The y-intercept, which is our starting point. So a linear function has infinite solutions. Yeah, like we have a bunch of dots, right? Infinite dots. One of them is negative 10, 0, and the other is 2, 6. So we have an x and a y, and an x and a y. What is the slope-intercept form of the linear function that contains both of these solutions? So remember, we will have a graph method, we will have a substitution method. Graph method, negative 10, 0. So negative 10, 0, and 2, 6, 2, 6. So we know that there's a line that connects these two, right? The question is, what is the equation of that line? So let's figure out how to go from here to here so we can get our slope. So up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we go up 6. And then we go right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We go right 12. So my change in y over the change in x. My y value changes. It increases by, well, we'll put up 6. And then my change in x is right 12. That is a positive over a positive, which is a positive. 6 over 12. Then we can divide by 6. And we get 1 over 2. So 1 over 2. So let's test it. 1 over 2. 1 over 2. Well, I didn't do too bad. 1 over 2. This was a little off, but there we go. So this is our m. And then this is our b. Let me write that a little better. That is our b. That is our y-intercept. So my y-intercept is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0, 5. So slope-intercept form, y equals 1/2 x. That's a positive 5, so plus 5. Okay, now let's try the substitution method. We should get the same answer. This time, well, let's not forget, we're trying to figure out y equals mx plus b without the graph. Now, the problem is that we don't have an m to figure out the b or a b to figure out the m. But anytime, if you notice right here, let me circle this right here, we have a point, right? Or let me circle the whole thing. Right here we have a point, and right here we have a point. So if we have 2 points, we can actually find the rate of change. So we have negative 10, 0. There we go. And 2, 6. And all I have to do is figure out our change in y and change in x. So this is plus 6. And negative 10 to 0 is 10, and then 2 is 2, so that's plus 12. And see, we end up getting the same numbers that we did when we hopped from here to here, we moved from here to here. So we get positive over positive is a positive. And let's say you didn't know that you could divide by 6. If you divide by 2 here, there we go. And we divide by 2 here, we get 3 over 6. And then we can divide by 3. And we get 1 over 2. You could have also just divided by 6 here. If you divide by 2 and divide by 3, you can divide by 2 times 3, which is 6. So now we go to our original, well, our slope-intercept form. So actually, let me do this. So the m, this is the m, remember that. So the m is 1/2. We know that now. And we have an x. We can just put either one of these, -10 and then 0 or 2 and 6. I like 2 and 6. It doesn't matter which one. I like 2. And then we don't know the y-intercept yet, so we got to leave it like that. And then the y is 6. So 1/2 times 2. 1 times 2 is 2 over 2 plus b equals 6. And then 2 over 2 is 1. And then we take away 1. And b, oh, that goes away. And b equals 5. So our equation ends up being y equals 1/2 x and then plus 5. Okay, so let's do that again. Let me correct this a little bit. Okay, there we go. So your imaginary friend wants a line to go through 2, -10. And her imaginary friend, kind of weird, wants the line to go through -6, 6. What's the equation of the linear function that includes both solutions? So 2, -10. 2, -10. And -6, 6. -5, -6, +6. So we want to go from here to here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we went down 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, 8. And then I'm going to wait to draw the line just because I think I'm going to have trouble. So down 16, right 8. So change in y over the change in x. I think I'm actually going to need some room. Over the change in x. So down 16, right 8. So down is negative, right is positive. A negative over positive is a negative. 16 over 8. I can divide by 2. And I get negative 8 over 4. Oh, and 8 divided by 4 is just 2, or I can divide by 4. So I'm going to write this a little differently. I'll write like this, negative 16 over 8. And instead of dividing by 2, I'm going to divide by 4. You can divide by 2 like I just did and then reduce. I'm just running out of space here. Oh, I can actually divide by 8 here. Divide by 8. Divide by 8. Negative 2 over 1. So negative 2. If you want to see it just like that. And so negative 2 over 1. 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 Alright, cool. So slope-intercept y equals my m, remember this is m, is negative 2 over 1, so negative 2. My y-intercept, which is b, let me find that. That's my y-intercept. That's my b, which is 0, negative 6. So minus 6. I'll put it in this color, minus 6. Let's go ahead and try that again, but we'll try to find that equation again. So we have 2 points, or 2 solutions that both have an x and a y, an x and a y. So y equals mx plus b. We don't have an m, we don't have a b, but we have an x and a y and x and y, so I'm going to do it here. X and y, changing y, changing x. I like to put the one on the left first. So negative 6, 6. And then 2, negative 10. So 6 minus, so 6 to get to 0 would be negative 6. And then to get negative 10, minus 10. So minus 16. And that is plus 8. So we get change in y over change in x. Negative over positive is a negative 16 over 8. Like over here, we can divide by 8, but I'll show you what happens if we don't divide by 8. Let's say we divide by 4. We get negative 4 over 2. And then we can divide by 2 here. And we get negative 2 over 1. Which is actually, well, which is our b, right? I'll put that in the other color. Okay, so we have, oh, that's not our b, that's our slope, that's our m. That's how we move, m. So m, so I'm going to keep that in this color then. So m is negative 2, so m is negative 2. And let's take 2, negative 10. So I'm going to use this one right here. I think in the other one I used blue actually. So I'm going to use this point right here. So that's 2. And then that is negative 10. And then we have plus b. So negative times a positive is a negative 4. Plus 4 plus 4. So b equals negative 10 plus 4. 4 minus 10 is negative 6. So I'm going to write it like this. B equals negative 6. All right, cool. So we end up with the same answer. Y equals, well, just for fun, let's put it f of x. F of x equals, that f looks crazy to me. F of x equals negative 2 x minus 6. And that's it. Thank you.